Welcome to Inking on the Fly. My name is Amy Jasper. I am a Canadian Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and I'm here to share with you a sweet and simple sympathy card design that you can make lickety-split because it's so simple and so fast. So I hope you enjoy this video. If you do, make sure that you remember to click on that subscribe button and click on that thumbs up as well, so that YouTube knows to share my video with other people who might enjoy it. That is greatly appreciated. I hope you like this video and that you can make many of these cards. Thanks for watching. So this card is showing off the In Your Words Cling Mount stamp set from Stampin' Up. This is a host only stamp set that is only available until the end of the month. For our summer celebration, because that summer celebration is almost done. So sad. So this stamp set you can earn for free with a $375 order. You do not have to order that all by yourself though. You can order with friends, and then you as the organizer will receive this stamp set if the orders all total up to 375 Canadian dollars. So something to consider. So we're going to use the Perhaps the Stars Are Openings, where our loved ones shine down to let us know they're happy. That's the stamp set, the stamp we're going to use on our card today. And along with that, we're going to be working with the Tasteful Labels dies. These dies, there's an assortment of labels, various sizes and shapes that make it really fun to work with. And we are using this stitched label today for this design. And if you don't know who I am, of course, my name is Amy Jasper. I am a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator here in Canada. And I have been doing it for quite some time. So I'm really excited to be able to share projects with you and hopefully give you some ideas of how to use the supplies that you may have at home. So first we need to do some stamping. I am using, like I said, that one stamp, so I have it ready on my block, and I'm going to use soft suede ink. So I struggle a little bit with getting this stamp or getting things on this label die straight, just because the label, I always struggle with labels that are more oval shaped. Getting things straight on them is a bit of a trick for me. So I use my grid paper to make sure everything lines up. Beautiful, lovely, lovely. So that was soft suede ink on the basic white label. My card base, I should fold that, shouldn't I? I'll fold my card base. Woo! If I can get it to pick it up there. There we go. Folding my card base. Pretty standard. Bone folder helps it to be creased well. Okay, and then I want to use the Expressions in Ink designer series paper. This is a specialty paper. It has the beautiful gold foil on it. It's so pretty. Other side has not the gold foil. The other side has a flat coloring to it instead of having that shimmery foil. So we're going to use the foil side, and I'm going to cut it the proper way this time. I cut it the opposite, and I'll show you that card as well. But earlier today, I cut it the opposite way that I wanted to do. So pay attention, because when you cut it at a diagonal, what you see facing you, that's the direction that the paper is going to go. So if I cut it this way, then I can either have a piece up in the corner of my card or down on the bottom corner of my card. If I cut it this way, then I'm going to have those corners that I'm going to use. So I want this corner, so I'm going to cut this way. Phew, I did it right this time. This is a good start. We've got video that's hopefully working, and that's a good thing too. Not like my previous video. That was very frustrating. That's okay. We're doing it right. Okay, so this beautiful piece. So this was cut. I started with a 4 by 5 1/4 in case I didn't say that earlier. I'm going to glue that down onto my card base on the bottom left corner. So that I have an even border. On the side and the bottom. Ooh, I think this time I'm going to add something, and I probably should have added this before I put my paper on top, but I'm going to add a little bit of spackling. And I didn't do this with the card that I shared with you on my video that went all bad. So I'm going to try it on this one and see what you think. So because I already put paper down, you know what? Maybe the spackle over top of that will be fine. That's okay. I think it'll work. So I'm going to use a bit of spackling. This is, what color is this? This is my light Flirty Flamingo Blends marker. Now, when you use the technique I'm about to show you, be aware that it can cause damage to the tip of your marker. So right now the tip of my marker is beautiful and crisp and pointy. If I use this technique too many times, I risk damaging and fraying the tip of my marker. So keep that in mind, because that may not be a risk you want to take. But I use my markers quite a lot, and you know, they have a lifespan, so I'm not too worried about. At this point, I'm not too worried about it. I don't do this often with colors. I often use my black blends marker because that one I don't often color with, so I'm not worried about the frayed end. But I'll take my chances today. So I'm just going to do some spackling technique, which is what I do is I put the tip of my marker in just a little bit inside the lid, and then I can flick from the lid down toward my paper and it will leave some spackle. The further away you are from the paper, the finer and farther apart the spray will be. The closer you are, the more contained your spray will be. So let's see. And it's, I don't know how to control it. It just does what it does. So hopefully it does what I want. That works. Okay, so I ended up, hopefully you can see that, I ended up with a little bit of, really hard to show, I think you can see that, a little bit of just some interest there, right? So that, because this is all white, so now it has a little bit more interest going on. Okay, so then we want to attach our sentiment, our label, but first I have a stamp stuck to it, but the glittered organdy ribbon is what I'm going to use. This is so pretty. It is a white organdy ribbon, but then it has these iridescent flecks in it that they shimmer a little bit, and they have, depending on how the light hits them, it'll be pink or green or blue, really sparkly and pretty. So that's going to go on the back of my label. And I'm going to use a piece of tear and tape down the middle of my label. And that will help me attach my ribbon to the back of my label. So I'm going to do kind of a zigzag pattern. This ribbon is so pretty. It's so sparkly. Okay, so then this label is going to attach with dimensionals. And I am using up some of the edges of my dimensionals. So I'm trimming off those edge bits. I want to cover up any sticky areas with of the tear and tape so that that's not going to stick where I don't want it to stick. So it may look like I'm adding strangely my dimensionals strangely, but it's because I'm just covering up those sticky parts of the tear and tape. All right. Peel off those backings. And that can attach to my card front. And again, I struggle with getting it straight. So I'm going to use my grid paper to really help me make sure it's centered and also straight. So right now this line here is centered on my card, so that helps me quite a lot. So I think that looks straight. Sorry, I'm really concentrating. Okay, I think, does that feel straight to you? I think it's straight. I hope it's straight. I think it is. Whew, I did it. Okay, last thing I want to add on this card is some embellishments. So I have here the Cute Stars adhesive backed sequins. These are in sort of the Halloween section of the mini catalog that's out right now. That's why they're such unusual colors. We have orange, the orange and the pink are kind of iridescent in the way that they catch the light. And then the black is just black. So I'm going to use these pinky kind of ones. I think they go fairly well with this paper. So I'm going to do a big one and then a smaller one beside it. The stars, I feel like that's sort of the stars go with the sentiment really nicely, so I like that. And then let's put another one down over here. And who doesn't love adhesive backed anything? Any of these little embellishments that are adhesive backed are my friends, because I don't want to put little bits of glue underneath these. That's just too much work. So this way it's less work for me. So there we go. So there we have a really simple yet really pretty card showing off the Expressions in Ink Designer Series paper, the Host stamp set from the summer celebration, these stars, the organdy ribbon, all very nice. And then of course that little bit of a spackle in the background just added just a little bit of interest back there instead of just being plain white. So that's my card I have to share with you. So fast, super fast. Here's the other one that I made this morning when my video was not behaving itself. So here you can see that there are, they go different directions, but they still work. It still works. It still looks really nice both ways. Now they're kind of like a matching set. And then my original card is this one. This one uses the You're a Peach Designer Series paper and some faceted gems and let's see, Pool Party sheer ribbon. The spackle in the background, I believe, is black. And my sentiment is stamped with Misty Moonlight, I believe. Misty Moonlighting. Anyways, different ways to do the same card. Pattern paper makes it easy, don't you think? Thanks for watching. Have a great week.